Hi, my name is Benjamin Jones, and this video will provide you with a quick overview involving the fundamentals of engineering ethics. Both the NSPE, the National Society for Professional Engineers, and the ASCE, the American Society of Civil Engineers, have outlined a code of ethics which every engineer is expected to abide by. The outline contains 3 tiers. However, the fundamental principles or fundamental canons are a great summary and lay a strong foundation of the ethics involved in engineering. Both the NSPE and ASCE have a code of ethics distinct to them, but they are very similar in thought. In this video, we will cover the 7 fundamental canons as outlined by the ASCE. The first canon states, engineers shall hold paramount the safety, health, and welfare of the public, and shall strive to comply with the principle of sustainable development and the performance of their professional duties. This is perhaps the most vital canon as it specifically calls out engineers to not only operate with public safety and health in mind, but also hold them accountable for making known someone else's action that may undermine the welfare of the public. Fundamental Canon 2 states that engineers shall perform services only in areas of their competence. In other words, engineers may only take on work if they have the expertise or education to perform the task. For example, a plumber wouldn't be able to install a new 220-volt circuit for a washer he just installed the plumbing for, unless he was licensed. Number 3 states, engineers shall issue public statements only in an objective and truthful manner. Canon 3 tells engineers to speak with integrity, speak only in their area of expertise, which is related to Canon number 2, make known if they have been paid to make a statement, and speak not of their own interests. Number 4 states, engineers shall act in professional matters for each employer or client as faithful agents or trustees, and shall avoid conflicts of interest. The gist of Canon 4 states that engineers may not use confidential information in a way that is detrimental to an employer's or client's interests, may not take part in decisions as a public servant for services involving their own practice, and are obliged to notify their employers before availing themselves of outside employment opportunities or engaging in work that may give rise to a conflict of interest. Fundamental Canon 5 states that engineers shall build their professional reputation on the merit of their services and shall not compete unfairly with others. This canon covers bribery, malicious acts, and false portrayal of one's capabilities, as well as taking credit for another's work. Number 6 states, engineers shall act in such a manner as to uphold and enhance the honor, integrity, and dignity of their engineering profession and shall act with zero tolerance for bribery, fraud, and corruption. This canon is basically a general statement which promotes transparency and trustworthy control of funds that also prohibits engineers from knowingly participating in fraudulent or dishonest practices. Additionally, it indicates that bribery and corruption will not be tolerated. Last but not least, Canon number 7 focuses on professional growth rather than professional conduct. It states, engineers shall continue their professional development throughout their career and shall provide opportunities for the professional development of those engineers under their supervision. It encourages engineers to sharpen their skills through conferences and seminars and other means of education. This scenario was written by Jocelyn Tan and revolves around Solomon, a consultant at an environmental engineering consulting firm. In this scenario, Solomon's client is looking to expand their campus to within approximately 50 meters of a nearby marshland. In planning, Solomon came up with a solution to satisfy the client's needs and meet the bare minimum state regulations. However, within 5 to 10 years, the marshland's health will greatly decrease. Should Solomon push for a costlier yet sustainable plan and risk losing the client? The problem Solomon is faced with is in direct relation to ASPE Fundamental Canon 1. To recall Canon 1, engineers have an obligation to comply with the principles of sustainable development and the performance of their professional duties. In this scenario, Solomon has become aware of a problem that will halt the prosperity of the marshland and may ultimately cause it to die. Solomon is now faced with 4 routes he can venture down. Take a few seconds, pause the video, and review the 4 options. The best option for Solomon to take is option D. This option involves Solomon pitching both the costlier but sustainable plan along with the more cost-effective but environmentally harmful plan. Solomon is bound to this option in accordance with his job description, which states he must advise on the type of action his client is to take, as well as the first fundamental canon is defined by the ASPE. Solomon can certainly push for the more sustainable plan, as he should according to Canon 1, by advising his client that the plan, which is more harmful to the environment, could negatively affect how the public views their company.